Alright guys, we've had the RS Lite for maybe 2 months now, but just so you know, Jordan's been riding it mostly, not me. 360 miles on the dash, probably 10 of those are my miles. I will be completely honest with you, when I'm reviewing this scooter, I've barely ridden the thing. I'm comfortable doing this review without actually riding it. It's the same exact scooter as the one I'm riding, where I have 2,500 miles now. As far as I'm concerned, these things are pretty bulletproof. If you ride a lot of miles like me, it's gonna keep up with you. It's time to have a chat about both of these scooters. I think we're gonna start off, we're gonna talk about mine, and we're gonna put it up on the stand over here. There's one small flaw going on with it that I've been monitoring for about the last couple hundred miles. It may end up needing some parts. For now, it's working fine. I've been riding it every single day, non-stop, and the scooter has performed perfectly. That being said, when I did put my second set of tires on, I ran into a small issue with this motor wire, and this rear one has a bit of maybe corrosion or resistance building up in one of the pins, to the point where I'm probably going to order a new motor wire extension. That's this piece of the wire, as well as a new motor, just in case that this fails on me and I lose my rear motor because of this connector. I think the motor's totally fine, and it's a shame because it's just this like tiny couple dollar part right here that's failing. It's not the motor, it's not the controller. And in the scheme of things, a scooter with 2,500 miles like that, I've had other scooters that I've ran up the miles, like a Wolf Warrior and a VSET 11 Plus, VSET 11 Plus Super, and they all kind of develop electrical issues eventually, and it builds up, and then you're gonna have to replace a shorted out thing right here. It's not the end of the world. So for me right here, 2,500 miles, and this is the only problem I'm having is just with this connector. That to me is a pretty damn good scooter. As far as quality and longevity, especially things like the brakes, we're on our third set of brake pads here. 2,500 miles, the rotor itself is barely showing any wear. On my other V-sets, this would have been toast 3-4 times over by now. We would have been on our fourth rotor at this point with this many miles easily. The pads, we're only on our third set of pads, and they're lasting a long time, easily 1,000 miles per set of pads. Let's talk about the tires quick. Here is the sort of marks they put on the tire to show. You can see the wear pattern. This is the old tire. It gets worn down a lot more in the middle there, and it's 2,000 miles is how much I got out of these tires. If you guys need tires, these are from Wired Rides in the US here. Get the PMT Slicks 110/55 6.5. Really happy in general with the maintenance on this scooter for 2,500 miles. I have not spent a ton of money. That's a lot of freaking miles. That's like a year worth of miles for most people, maybe 2 years, depending how much you really ride. This tire pressure monitor, it's from the same company as the charger, PID Zoom. As you can see, it has perfect clearance to make it on this RS. It's almost like they designed it for this scooter, and it fits perfectly, it works perfectly. If you are ever worried about getting a flat or having sort of flat tire anxiety, just get one of these tire pressure monitor systems and you will never worry again. So my small problem here with the motor wire that might become a big problem, we don't really know yet. I'm gonna be watching the same thing on Jordan's scooter, obviously, and see if it becomes an issue. But originally I had mentioned that there was too much tension on this. There was not enough slack when it's fed through this hole right here. And so I had moved it to the outside. And so I did the same with Jordan's scooter. And in the front, you have to release the same way a bit of tension by cutting it from this connector. And that frees up the motor wire. Otherwise, when it's totally back like this, after about 100 miles, Jordan's scooter developed a error in the front, and it's because the connector was getting pulled loose a little bit. And so when you free that up like that, it stops the error, scooter runs perfectly. So I think in general, those are the only problems we've had with either scooter, is the motor wires, which I basically freed it up. She's had zero problems with her scooter now. Mine, like I said, I will monitor this issue and update you guys probably on my next tire change, how it looks when I tear this apart. I don't want to pull it any harder and break something right now because the scooter's running fine and I want to keep riding it, obviously. I'm trying to keep riding this scooter every day. I love riding it, so I'm not gonna break something that's not broken right now just to see. But as soon as something happens with this, I will be letting you guys know with an update video and how I fix it too. Because obviously something like this $4,000 scooter, if there's a problem, you guys need to know. Inmotion does not pay me or get to tell me what to say and to any degree. They sent me the scooter, but I have complete freedom of what to say, and I will tell you guys exactly what goes on with this scooter. I think I'm one of the only people riding it this super high mileage, so I will let you know, trust me. As far as the RS Lite goes, we're gonna do a little math and demonstrate the difference mathematically between this and the RS, specifically the wattage. The base RS is 8,400 watts, that's 4,200 per motor. The way to do that in math is 84 volts times 50 amps per controller times 2 motors gives you the wattage. So we can do the same math over here. They actually listed on their website, it's 6,000. So what we can infer from the 6,000 wattage is that this scooter, 84 volts, is running at about 35 amps. So that's your biggest difference between this scooter and this scooter. The Lite is running less amps, less power to the wheels. It still pulls very hard. If you felt 6,000 watt scooter, it's quite a strong scooter still. Plenty of power for any sane person. And they call it the Lite because it's meant for lighter people, not because it's actually lighter. It's only a couple pounds lighter. Still an extremely heavy scooter, I think 120, 130 pounds. So it's not a light scooter, don't get fooled at all. It's meant for lighter people. And why specifically is because it's pushing less power and it only has a 30 amp hour battery. So it has 75% of the battery capacity. The other scooter, 40 amp hour versus 30 amp hour. It's 75% of the battery capacity of the RS, of the range. So it has less range if you're the same weight. But like I said, if you're a lighter person, you buy the Lite because you'll end up getting about the same range. Jordan gets very close range that I do because I weigh 200 pounds and she weighs 125. The Lite is just a way for, I think, lighter people to save some money and get a very similar experience to the RS. It is about 5 miles per hour, I'd say slower on the top end, but it's plenty. She's easily getting 55 out of it all day long on flats and hitting 60 to 65 downhill. It's an extremely fast scooter, the Lite is. As you can see, obviously, I should mention this, the beautiful paint job. Shout out to Carousel Auto in Iowa City. These guys at Carousel Auto Appearance did amazing. You take a look at this purple with the flake, very, very shiny. They ended up doing, obviously, both swing arms, both mud guards. They did this part here. They also did this part at the top of the stem here. They basically did every part that was orange. The scooter used to be orange. If you know, the RS Lite is orange. Nothing wrong with orange if you like that color, but Jordan's favorite color is purple, and as her first hyper scooter, I really wanted to make this scooter special. And I think it is now. It's very special. One of a kind in the world here. I'm proud of Jordan. She's come a long way. Besides for the range and the difference in power from the controller output, aka amps, there's not any other differences that I see between this scooter and that scooter. They're identical frame. They are very fast. And like I said, when you put a lighter person on it, they're equally fast on acceleration. And we have some clips of that. I'm happy to show you where we're pacing each other. We're both full throttle, maxed out, and we're moving at the same acceleration. All right, here we go, guys. I'm gonna basically full throttle it right now. Jordan is too, just to demonstrate that the RS Lite definitely keeps up with the RS if you have a decent weight difference, right? Obviously, I can pull away a little bit at the very end, but it keeps up in general quite well, see? Race? What you said? Sure. First one past Freddy's wins. Alright, this is not a Freddy's ad, although Jordan does love her Freddy's.
Yeah, it's a good burger. I'm a Midwest girl. I'll tell you what a good burger is.
Yeah, Jordan knows a good burger. She's pretty fast. Uh-oh. It's gonna come down to who's more aerodynamic. Close race. Woo! Freddy's, there it is! Freddy's! Woo! The light for $3,000 is really hard to beat. I think for this price point, $3,000 for this much scooter is almost impossible to find. You may find a little cheaper off-brand ones, but you won't find something name brand for this quality, for this speed, with these specs. $3,000 is a good deal for a scooter like this. I'm not gonna spend all day talking about this light because I've only ridden it maybe 20 miles. I'm putting all my miles on this. So if you wanna see more updates on this scooter, make sure you follow along Jordan's channel. She's gonna be posting some more videos throughout this summer and more long-term reviews. I think she's planning to do a 500-mile review and go in depth about this. So if you are interested in the light, I'm gonna be helping her with that too. It should be a great video. But as of right now, if you're looking at either of these Inmotion scooters, they are top quality. And if you're looking for something a little cheaper, still hyper scooters, I heard that they will be coming out with more models soon, maybe in the $2,000 range. So let's wait and see for those as well. If you're not quite in the budget here for $3,000, I get it, it's expensive, but it's worth every penny. If you are, this is in your budget, definitely a buy. Either one of these scooters, definitely a buy for me. Even with the small motor wire issue, that's not, to me, that's not a big issue compared to a lot of other scooters I've had way more problems than that at this amount of mileage. So Inmotion, good stuff. Let's keep it rolling, baby. Let's keep it rolling. So everybody's biggest complaint on the RS and the RS Lite is the headlight. It's not quite bright enough or wide enough. So what we've done is added Wolf Warrior headlights. You can get this for $30 on AliExpress, and we're going to show you how to do it yourself with no soldering. Start by removing your headlight connector. Unscrew the bolt mounting your headlight to the frame. Remove your old headlight. Here's what the new headlights look like. The reason we're using this headlight is because it has a built-in step-down converter, meaning it will work at 84 volts, which is what our stock headlight is running at. It's running off the battery voltage. If you hook up a 12-volt light to this, it will blow it out and short out your scooter. Do not do that. Anyways, now that the disclaimer is out of the way, you start by attaching your mounting bracket to your headlight, and then screw your headlight into your frame of your scooter. Tighten it down with the appropriate tools. Cut the new headlight wire to the right size and carefully strip it down. You want to expose both the positive and the negative and strip them so they're equal length like this. Twist the end just so the copper is tight. Instead of soldering, we're going to use these solder butt connectors that you just use a heat gun to melt. Instead of buying a brand new connector, you just use this old one, cut it off the old headlight, and strip it to expose the wires. As simple as connecting red to red, black to black. When you're using these butt connectors, you want the case part of your wire, the part that's red still, to be inside of this white section because it's going to melt down and make it waterproof. Make sure both wires are touching in the middle and melt the connector down carefully on both sides. You should see the solder melt on the inside as well as the plastic melting on the outside, creating a waterproof seal. Put heat shrink over just for aesthetic to make it look better. I had to use these red ones first just because they were the right size. And then I used these black ones on top to make it all black. Here's the final look. It is waterproof. And we plug it in. With just a stock button, we're able to cycle through a high beam, a low beam, and a strobe mode. This is a very easy solution for $30 and maybe a half an hour of your time, worth of the upgrade here, in my opinion. I'll show you guys the modes right now real quick for the review. Here's the low. There's the bright. There's the strobe. So you can see it's really bright. Back to the bright. This is the stock headlight. Here we go, guys. And then Jordan's right next to me on the upgraded headlight. It's going to completely probably wash out this one. I'll just turn mine off now so you can see hers. That's what the upgraded one looks like. And she'll turn hers off and you can see just mine. You see what we're talking about is very narrow versus hers one more time. A lot wider beam, a lot more suitable for night riding in general. Now we have one more piece of business to take care of in this video. 2 weeks ago, we announced the Niu Giveaway. I could not decide between these 3 comments, so I want you guys to vote. Down below in the comments, tell me which of these 3 people, Lamarck O'Benson, Shahame Bob, or Dan Crum, should win the new 300X scooter. Adding these LED light strips that sync with the brakes. If you guys want to see how I did this, let me know in the comments. If there's enough interest, I will make a video because it was kind of a pain in the butt. It took me about 3 or 4 hours. It's not difficult, not expensive, but let me know if you're actually interested in that and I will make a video for you. Thanks a lot, guys. Scooter Gang out.